Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel Ultimate Rare Coins USA, where we continue our dedicated journey through the history of American coinage to help you uncover the hidden value in your collection. Today we are turning our attention to one of the most fascinating and complex years in modern coin collecting history as we discuss the 1972 Eisenhower dollar. This massive coin is often referred to as the Ike dollar, and it holds a special place in the hearts of collectors because it represents the last of the large format dollars that were meant for circulation. If you have inherited a collection, or simply enjoy hunting through rolls of coins, or perhaps you found one of these heavy pieces in a drawer, you are going to want to pay close attention. The 1972 Eisenhower dollar is not just a single coin, but rather a puzzle consisting of multiple varieties and compositions that can range in value from just a few dollars to over $1,000. We are going to break down every single aspect of this year, including the three distinct types produced in Philadelphia and the silver issues from San Francisco and the common coins from Denver. You might think that a coin made of base metal from the 1970s cannot be worth much, but the 1972 Type 2 Eisenhower dollar is one of the most famous rarities of the clad era. Let us start with the historical context because the Eisenhower dollar was introduced in 1971 to honor President Dwight D. Eisenhower, who had passed away in 1969, and also to commemorate the Apollo 11 moon landing. The design was created by chief engraver Frank Gasparo, and it features a bold profile of President Eisenhower on the obverse facing left, with the word Liberty above him. On the reverse, you will see an adaptation of the Apollo 11 mission patch, which depicts an eagle landing on the moon while holding an olive branch of peace. This design is significant because it links the World War II hero Eisenhower with the technological achievement of the space race, which was a major theme of the era. The 1972 issue is particularly interesting because it was the second year of the series and the mint was still working out some of the production issues with such a large and hard coin. There are two main categories of metal composition you need to understand before we look at the specific varieties, and this is the first test you should do. Most 1972 Eisenhower dollars are made of a copper nickel-clad composition, which means they have a copper core sandwiched between outer layers of copper and nickel. These clad coins look silver, but if you look at the edge, you will see a distinct copper or brown stripe running around the rim, just like a modern quarter or dime dot. However, there are also 1972 Eisenhower dollars that contain 40% silver, and these were produced exclusively for collectors and sold at a premium. To find out if you have a silver one, you need to look for the mint mark, which is a small letter located on the front of the coin right below Eisenhower's neck. If you see a small letter S, that stands for the San Francisco Mint, and this is the only mint that produced silver. Eisenhower dollars in 1972. These silver coins were sold in two different formats, known as blue Ikes, which were uncirculated coins in blue envelopes, and brown Ikes, which were proof coins in brown boxes. If you have a 1972 Eisenhower dollar, it is automatically worth significantly more than face value because of its silver content, which is currently trading high. In the current market, a 1972 silver dollar is worth approximately $15 to $20 strictly based on the precious metal inside it, regardless of condition. However, if the coin is in perfect uncirculated condition or is a deep cameo proof, the value can be higher to a collector who is building a set. Now let us move on to the coins that most of you will find in your pocket change or jars, which are the copper nickel-clad issues produced for circulation. These coins were minted in Denver and Philadelphia. And while the Denver coins are straightforward, the Philadelphia coins are where the real money is hiding. The 1972 Denver coins can be identified by the small letter D, located below Eisenhower's neck on the obverse. The Denver Mint produced over 92 million of these coins, and they were generally well made, with good quality control. Because so many were made, and the quality was consistent, a circulated 1972 D Eisenhower dollar is typically only worth face value, or perhaps a few dollars as a novelty. However, the 1972 Philadelphia coins are a completely different story, and this is where you need to get your magnifying glass ready right now. The Philadelphia coins do not have a mint mark, so if the area below Eisenhower's neck is smooth and empty, you have a Philadelphia issue. The Philadelphia Mint had trouble with the reverse die that year, and they ended up using three different dies throughout the year, creating three distinct types. These are known simply as Type 1 and Type 2 and Type 3, and identifying which one you have is the key to finding a coin worth hundreds of dollars. Let us start with the Type 1, which is the most common variety found on coins minted earlier in the year of 1972. To identify a Type 1, you need to look at the earth on the reverse side of the coin, directly above the eagle. On the Type 1, the earth appears somewhat flattened, and if you look at the islands off the coast of Florida, they are distinct and separate. Specifically, you will see three small islands to the right of the Florida peninsula, which look like little blobs in the ocean. This Type 1 variety is very common, and in circulated condition, it is worth about the same as the Denver issue, which is mostly face value. Now let us jump to the Type 3 because this was the final correction made by the Mint later in the year to fix the design problems. On the Type 3, the Earth is much more detailed and has high relief, showing the continents very clearly. The key identifier for the Type 3 is that the islands are visible and sit directly below the Florida Peninsula rather than to the right. The Type 3 is also relatively common, although slightly less so than the Type 1, but it still does not command a massive premium in circulated grades. Now we arrive at the Type 2, which is the holy grail of the 1972 Eisenhower Dollar series and the coin you are hunting for. The Type 2 was created by accident when the Mint mistakenly used a proof die from the San Francisco silver production line on the Philadelphia-clad coins. Because the proof die was designed for a different strike pressure, the details on the Earth look very different on the circulation coins. To identify a Type 2, you must look at the Earth again, and you will notice that it looks almost completely flat with no island details at all. The Florida Peninsula looks like a faint triangle, and the islands in the Caribbean are completely missing or appear as faint incus waterlines. If your coin has an Earth that looks flat and lacks the distinct islands found on the Type 1 or Type 3, you have found the rare Type 2. This Type 2 variety is scarce because only a small batch was produced before the mistake was caught and corrected. In circulated condition, like very fine or extremely fine, a 1972 Type 2 Eisenhower dollar can sell for $30 to $50 easily. But if you are lucky enough to find one in uncirculated condition, with original mint luster, the value skyrockets immediately. An uncirculated 1972 Type 2 can be worth anywhere from $100 to several $100s, depending on the grade. The reason for this high value is that serious collectors need this specific variety to complete their Eisenhower dollar sets. It is estimated that less than 1% of all 1972 Philadelphia dollars are the rare Type 2 variety. This makes it a legitimate treasure hunt that you can do right at your kitchen table with nothing more than a magnifying glass and a good light. When you are looking at these coins, pay attention to the overall condition as well, because damage impacts value. Avoid cleaning your coins if you think you have a Type 2, because scrubbing it will destroy the surface and lower the grade. Collectors prefer coins with their original skin, even if that means the coin looks a little dull or has some gray toning. If you find a potential Type 2, the best course of action is to put it in a protective holder immediately to prevent scratches. Then you should take it to a reputable coin dealer, or show it to experts at a local coin show to get a second opinion. Do not take this coin to a pawn shop or a generic gold buyer because they will likely treat it as a regular dollar coin. You need to sell this specific variety to a numismatist who understands the rarity of the 1972 Type 2 die marriage. So to summarize, the 1972 Eisenhower dollar is a coin with 3 faces from the Philadelphia Mint, and one of them is a star. The Denver coins are common, and the San Francisco silver coins are valuable for their metal, but the Philadelphia Type 2 is the collector's prize. Remember to look for the flat Earth, with no islands on the reverse of your no mint mark coins. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the 1972 Eisenhower dollar on Ultimate Rare Coins USA. We hope this guide helps you spot that hidden gem in your pile of large dollars and turns a $1 coin into a big payday. Please hit that subscribe button and destroy the like button so we can keep bringing you these detailed coin value guides. Keep hunting and keep stacking and checking those reverses, because we will see you in the next video with more rare finds.